This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire.
Men, women, thieves, and embers, welcome to Burning Question, the show where the pockets are empty but knowledge is currency. Our guest for tonight is the fridge thief himself. Would you kindly introduce yourself?
Oh, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, you already know, the most stylish, supernatural heister, Stylo. Yes, you heard that right. I steal fridges too, but hey, we'll get to that later. But yes, I'm very happy to be here.
Oh, it's nice to have you on the show. Do you mind telling us a bit about your history before we start, of course?
History, interesting. So, like how I got where I am today, type thing.
Yeah, essentially.
All right, so I got my start in the thieving business in a classified time. Information's expensive down here, but
Sure.
well, I was a delinquent back in the university days. I'd say, I don't know, man. It's something about the thrill of crime.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying people should follow in my footsteps, but I'm just saying, man, the fulfillment of crime, very fun. And hey, adrenaline. Who doesn't like adrenaline? Am I right?
Definitely.
Yes, the whole fridge thief thing. Yes, that's kind of the funny nickname given to me by the people who once uh who were very much interested in my work. I did get my start with stealing things, with stealing fridges. Why? You'd be surprised. Fridges somehow make a lot of money. I don't know how it is, but hey, if it works, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. I
And
see what you mean.
mhm.
Can judge others by like stuff they do or used to, I suppose. Because it's just what you need to survive.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I think I'm probably one of the best people you can talk to when it comes to something like that because I've been like doing what I can to just survive.
Hmm.
Just trying your
Well,
best
yeah,
rather
gotta do what you
making
gotta
money.
do.
Exactly. Well, anyway, without further ado, we can start with the first question, which is if you can disclose a bit, um, where sorry, where do you primarily operate out of? Is it a the United States or do you operate internationally, perhaps?
Hmm. Well, I'd say my base of operations is in a disclosed location. Don't want any law enforcement to know where I'm staying, but I am an international contract. You know, if you got the money, I'll fly out, man. It's pretty easy. It's yeah, you know, if you know the right people, you can go anywhere. But yeah, I've gotten some international contracts, some good, some good money there, good money here, you know. But at the end of the day, they know I get the job done. You know, I'll go anywhere. Just pay me, of course.
Yeah, definitely. I see. I see. I actually do recall you saying that you know somebody who's tried to steal the Declaration of Independence. I'm assuming that's the American one because I don't think I've heard of any other Declaration of Independences. The term?
Oh no, yeah, definitely. Those guys are some of my inspiration of why I even started this in the first place. See, down here, we'll just use the general term the underground because you know,
Yeah,
down
sure.
here in the underground, legends are born here. You know, they do some of the most heinous crimes. Sometimes they may be dirty, sometimes they may be unethical, so to speak. Yeah, you know, we offer some of the best at what they do, but at the same time, we offer the worst of the worst. I mean, it's not like we can force them to leave. I mean, confrontation is an often thing down here, but one thing's for sure, if you want something done, you come to us. It's just, be careful where you walk down here. But those guys that stole the declaration, I'm not allowed to say because I could be, I'm pretty sure I'd be snitching, but those guys were very much pretty damn good at what they do. And if there's one thing I know, I'm pretty damn good at what I do, but I'm not as good as them. They're legends. What am I? I don't want to call myself a wannabe, but if I compare myself to them, it kind of is. But at the same time, we get the job done. If you're called a legend, you gotta earn the status. So yes, it is the American crew, name redacted, of course, but they did a damn good job, and it's a huge inspiration to the work I do today.
Okay, I see what you mean. It's really a common thing that people get inspired by others to move forward. We've seen it in
Mm-hmm.
dozens of animes in real life. So I
Oh
suppose
yeah,
like
definitely.
having like heroes that you can relate to is probably like the best way to go about it.
Mhm. Best way to go about it. Well, everyone starts small, that's for sure. Again, I started boosting fridges. I mean, if you tell that to any heister, they'd think you're a joke, or anyone down here in the underground, they'd think you're a joke. But one second they're calling me a joke, the other second, look at that, your fridge gone. I'm good at what I do, but at the same time, start small, build up an empire. That's like the
Yeah.
cliche in every media you've seen about crime, but I will admit it's true. Look where I am now. Am I a legend? I don't know, but damn sure know that people will pay me to do what I do best.
Yeah, definitely. Uh, I definitely know about crime considering that I did interview a local boss not that long ago. Lady K,
Mm-hmm.
as you know,
Yes, Kay, of course, good
her
friend.
having some sort of backup or posse, I suppose is a different term. To help build your crime is important. So I was wondering, has anyone helped you in your heist before? Perhaps a hacker to deal with cameras or something, or do you deal everything by yourself?
Hmm, good question. Starting out, I was always used to doing things by myself, but then people up there, as we like to call the surface, one heist, it's just easy pickings. It's an easy walk in the park, piece of cake.
Sure.
And then next job, what is this security? You've never seen this before. So I'm humble. I may be a thief, but I'm humble. But I have screwed up a couple heists because I underestimated the advancements in security and just overall, well, what goes down in law enforcement. I don't know much about them. All I know is they're trying to stop me, and I sure as hell don't want to stop. But they're good at what they do, and I'm good at what they do. So it's a fun little stalemate. Yeah, it's kind of like one upping each other. I can find a new way to bypass your security, and then next step, boom, snap, just like that. They have countermeasures. So I'd say it's very fun. This whole competition between us heisters and the ever-growing security, considering the fact that people down here are always so hungry for the thrill. So it's a consistent happening on the surface that crime happens. So of course they gotta up their game, and so will we.
Yeah, I can see why that would be the case. It's like a to put into other terms, are you aware of when there was some kind of there was okay it went on during the Cold War in American and European history, but
Yes, the Cold War.
but
Mhm.
there's this one thing which I actually what amazed me was there was a certain arms race between body armor and bullets. Because okay, are you familiar with the gun, the P90?
Yes, of course. Standard issue submachine gun. People
Yeah.
love that down here. You would not believe. But yes, of course, the P90. Well, what of it?
After doing some research, it's actually a remarkably unique gun because compared to like other guns of its time, it did not adapt a cartridge, a type of round for the viewers, for it to adapt on. It actually, the manufacturers of the gun had to create their own cartridge because they wanted to create a type of rifle round, but small. That was unheard of at the time. So
Yeah.
when the gun was created, it showed the advancements because it could punch through the top tier body armor, which supposedly that the terrorists would have.
Mhm.
Because at the time when the, let's say, the MP5 at the time, I'm pretty sure it was the MP5, its rounds could not penetrate because it was using 9mm, and 9mm cannot
Yeah,
penetrate
nine nubs.
tier 3 body armor. But the P90 did. And then now they created armor that the P90 cannot even penetrate, that you need an actual like 50 cal to penetrate. So it's just this whole arms race, I suppose, of creating a better gun, creating a better cartridge, and also creating better armor to counter that. Just finding that out is, I think, is rather interesting as a concept because it pretty much exists like universally.
But yeah, gunsmithing is a very interesting thing. You would not believe the gunsmiths down here. They have created things that even I would see myself using. Yeah, I know I don't really need guns, but yeah, I see the appeal. But you know, people down here just find new ways to counter everything, and it's fascinating.
Yeah, definitely. Just finding a way to counter. Okay. Another example is, let's say, tasers.
Oh my god, tasers! I hate
Tasers
those
suck.
things.
Let's
But
just,
yeah,
let's just
go
say
on.
that they suck both as weapons and also as like to be hit by, if you actually do get hit by them. But a lot of the time they're only like one shot. But now if,
Yeah.
for example, you're wearing something just a bit thicker, it's not gonna go through. But then I've seen people who's created a special type of like device, like it's essentially a grappling hook.
Oh my god, yeah.
I think the viewers have seen the videos about the thing that like latches onto your clothes, so you get restrained, and it's actually surprisingly strong. That thing is meant to be the upgrade version of a taser without actually electrocution. This is a way to subdue people, and the police are getting these. I don't know how well they're being used right now, but still, it's just interesting that's being used now.
True. On that note, it's very interesting you mentioned tasers because a very well-known crew from the States has a very huge inspiration. But when they go on heists, the special units they send to go after them, first of all, you've got a guy in freaking anti-bomb like gear, but he just uses it as body armor to just charge inside. I think they refer to those as a bulldozer, those guys. And yes, those guys. Yes, those guys. If chat knows, you know, that crew is amazing. But the taser units are very interesting. They carry assault rifles with a taser attached to it. And
That sounds weird.
I've met the crew before, and they say it's not pleasant. It really isn't. No matter the body armor they're wearing, it just shocks and it sucks, dude.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I suppose that since that crew who ends up, how should I say, who ends up like having to combat the police forces, perhaps they must get a really big payday, huh?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. They are, as much as they are legends, they're probably the ones that I know make the most money. That's for sure. And they're very good at what they do. They plan ahead. They pre-plan. Me usually I just be like, oh, that's what I gotta do. All right, I'll set out like a normal plan. You know, the standard procedure of how to go about these types of things, and then I just go in. These guys take days, man. They know. They're like, is there a conveniently placed crane that we could hijack in the area? And then they're like, yeah, okay, let's use that. And then they pre-plan, like they somehow sneak equipment into the venue just in case things go wrong. Like those
Yeah.
guys, man, I really gotta up my planning game, huh?
I actually do have a very similar strategy, but I have to be honest that most of my strategies, whenever I do like mercenary work, it's like a 50-50 chance of it working out.
Honestly, same.
To be fair though, my first job was like really lucky because my very first job was I had to essentially bring back this snarky ass kid to like his dad, which I only found out later. That's not just some random mafia boss, but I was like trying to get his kid back.
Uh-huh.
I planned out this entire thing about how I'm supposed to extract him from the club and bring him to his dad. After like 20
Mm-hmm.
minutes of like searching for him in the club, he was outside throwing up. He drank too much.
Of course,
That was a pain.
kids
But it was
nowadays.
lucky. At least he was there with his crew, which I had to deal with, of course. But that's a story for another day for some people who want
Mm-hmm.
to see that. Regardless, let's move on to the next question.
All right.
Can you tell us of some notable things you've stolen recently, perhaps?
Oh, recently. All right. Some of them. I had this one heist from a tip from. I'm very good friends with the aforementioned gang we were talking about earlier.
Sure.
They've given me a tip because they were going through so much with their crew at the time, to the point of almost the destruction of the crew. So they were like, listen, if you want this job, you can take it. Right now we have bigger fish to fry. And I was like, okay, I'll see what I can do. It was a tip to steal gold, but not just any gold. This is apparently some sort of ancient Mayan gold that's worth like almost billions, especially
Sure.
down here if you know the right contacts to sell to. So that it was pretty easy, Nick. They're not, the security was, considering how rare those were, the security was not very good. The guards with very predictable patterns. I mean, I'm normally someone that likes things when they go loud, but this is the easiest stealth job I've ever had to do in my life. I kind of just nicked it, bagged it up, and left. And these guys are it was just on the news next day, and you know me. I like to get recognized for my work.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Heisting is sort of like a kind of like an art, but not in like a psychotic way. I just want people to know, especially people down here and some of our contacts on the surface, to know that it was me. But yeah, I left my signature. It's the calling card, so to speak. You know, so they were like, "Oh, the news was all over me." Like, well, what is this mysterious symbol? What is this mysterious heister does it again? This symbol is becoming synonymous with the underground. And that day I was like, maybe I'm finally getting recognized. But then the people down here were like, you've got a long way to go, buddy. But besides the Mayan gold, this my proudest work. Very interesting story, really. So this mask on my chest that I wear as a badge of pride, and because it helps me out in very interesting ways. This mask on my chest is apparently some Japanese relic that was an anonymous tip and they said it was some sort of anonymous delivery to an anonymous recipient, and they
Sure.
were like, "That's a lot of anonymous, but I'm gonna do it anyway." So I saw the security, pretty simple. It's just a dockyard with a bunch of guards. It, it's one of those jobs that feel like it was too
Easy.
to be true. You know, it's like why I was walking through the dockyard in my full outfit and no one was batting an eye. They probably thought I was some street photographer or some shit. But I was like, considering the fact there was a high profile facility, I wondered why I wasn't stopped in the first place. I kind of just waltzed to the shipping container. However, where the story gets interesting was this heist went south because this tip screwed me off. This was an attempt to stop me because I was getting too recognized, so to speak, on the underground, and apparently some people didn't like that. So yeah, I took the mask, some artifacts on the side, you know, maybe some extra cash. You know, cash is always nice. And the moment I exit the shipping container, there's a bunch of mercenaries and the police. Who would have known mercs and police would work together to stop me? I'm one guy. So, you know, pointing the guns at me, telling me like, "Ooh, give us the mask, and no one's gonna get hurt." And I was like, you know, I refuse to back down. I have a lot of pride in my work. This was like my one ticket to fame, so to speak. Okay. So I refused to back down. And then they turned me into Swiss cheese with all them bullet holes. But I don't know what it is. I was bleeding out. No one helped me. I was a one-man crew, and then out of nowhere, I closed my eyes, thinking this is it. I'm gone. And then next moment, I open my eyes. Everything's on fire. I hear screaming and stuff like that, and then I realized the mask's in my hand. And I thought to myself, did I put this on? Did it do something? And then someone, there was a little bit of a peeping Tom on the scene. I suppose someone from the underground was trying to spot if the heist, I mean the screw job was successful, but the footage eventually was shared around in the underground. Apparently, I was wielding some sort of purple flame with the mask on. So I told myself, so this is what did all of that. I did none of this. I did steal it though, but this is where I found the newfound power that is in this mask. I'm still trying to perfect it. It seems I have very much controlled it a little. Me and one of my friends from the underground was helping me calibrate myself with this mask, and he noticed that when it's purple I have zero control. You know, kind of like the show Moon Knight, you know, where he just blacks out and everyone's dead. It's kind of like that.
Okay, fair enough.
And then he said the very few times I was able to control it, the flame was either red or blue. And he noticed that the blue is weaker and the red is more powerful, but I am like 50-50 on whether or not I can control it. But yes, I'd say that was the proudest, surprisingly successful heist in my life. And to this day, I have found that this mask is very useful for future jobs. So here I am today with probably the easiest heists ever. I've yet for someone to stop me. They're welcome to try, but honestly, this mask does wonders for someone like me.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Honestly, just to me, just surviving the job is already a success, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't even think I was gonna get out of that. You know what getting shot feels like? You're a
Yes.
mercenary. You know what getting shot feels like.
Yeah.
it is not pleasant.
Oh.
If chat's listening right now, it's like a hole in your body, and you can feel the air passing through that hole. It's not nice. But then I woke up from after the scene of the crime, quote unquote, and I was just everything was gone. I'm fine. Am I immortal? I don't know. I don't know, dude. This mask seems to protect me from stray gunshots. You know.
So I'm assuming that you don't carry any anti-bullets or anti-stabbing armor on you, though. Huh.
I would as a precautionary thing,
Now,
but
now you do.
no, I mean, yeah, it's not nice getting shot. It really, it's more of a just in case thing, and hey, it
Yeah.
contributes to the outfit. I mean, I like being stylish. I mean, let's be real. If you're doing a heist in civilian clothing, you are giving yourself away. I will stand out because why not? You know, so the bulletproof gear would, you know, for the outfit for the most part, but you know, it's just the slim chance that it hurts a little, you know.
Yeah.
Reduce the
definitely.
pain as much as I can.
Yeah, definitely. Well, anyway, moving on to the next question, which I suppose some people may know or may not know or may want to know, which is, of course, why fridges?
Why fridges? Okay,
There's literally
that is
a big ass number of things you can steal from somebody. Why fridge?
that is single-handedly the best interview question I've gotten ever in my life. But okay, get this, all right. People preserve food in fridges
Sure.
and many other things.
Sure.
Dead bodies, but I'm not allowed to say that. But I don't know. Something about them was fascinating to me. Yeah, smart fridges are weird, man. What you could use it like a phone, bro. Just get a phone. But like, here's the thing, okay? Without a fridge, you ain't got nothing, bro. Your food is warm / room temperature. That sucks, man. Your drinks never cooled. Your well, down here at least, you know, the organ traffickers down here have no business without a fridge. So I realized if I wanted to piss off the right people down here, and you know, I find it funny when I do it on the surface, I just steal the fridge, and there goes so much of your daily needs gone like that. I'm not one to revel in someone's suffering. It's just kind of funny, honestly. It was more of a, I found all the jewelry, all the money, all the hidden cash in like a safe or something. It's just something about a fridge that's funny to me. Hey, it's easy to nick. I mean, yeah, one would imagine, how could you raise that? You're one guy. Well, let me tell you, buddy, with the right equipment, yeah, a fridge is just in and out like that. But yeah, it was more of a, I just found it funny and
So to
easy.
annoy people, essentially.
Yeah, it was more of a, haha, you have no more fridge, look at you, you look stupid type of thing. I just
Okay.
found it funny.
Well, I suppose that's seriously the only way to describe it. It is.
There's really
It's
no
got pissed people off.
sugarcoating it. I just, yeah, it's the down here in the underground, it's to piss them off. On the surface, it's just funny. It's just funny
Fair enough.
and easy. So
Yeah, I suppose fridges aren't really protected now.
yeah, I mean, who's gonna put a high security facility? No one's gonna do it. It's literally smack dab in the middle of your house. I can steal everything else and then the fridge.
Okay. Well, moving on to the next question, which actually does relate to the previous question. How are you selling these fridges, and who's buying these fridges? Or do you just return them after a couple days?
Okay, good question. So who do I sell him to? Easy. Retailers. Call me a
Oh
repo
my
man,
god.
but it is what it is, bruh. Wholesalers will do dirty things just to get their property back and make more money. So
I've
one
done
is
that, but
wholesalers.
exclusively fridges though.
Yeah, here's the thing, man. Like, you go to an appliance store, yeah, there's a TV, and like, I don't know, like cleaning things, like a vacuum or something. But have you seen like a quarter of the store, maybe even half of it is just refrigerators, bro? I mean, I'm just saying, man. I don't know. I stole my first fridge and I was like, it's funny. What do I do with it now? And then someone on the underground was like, oh, you could we have some contacts in the wholesale business. And I was like, you know what, if it makes me some cash, why the hell not, right? But then down here I steal fridges from people for them to buy it back. It is the dumbest thing to hear the fact that I hold a fridge ransom.
Yeah.
But the fact that they want it so bad to the point where they're willing to pay me for it, I'll take the money.
You freaking hold fridges as ransom. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But
My chat has repeatedly screamed at me to give their fridge back. And I tell them it's just business. You gotta pay me first. And then to this day, they will not stop nagging me to give their fridge back. But guess what, man? Business is business. I gotta do what I gotta do. I may have a lot of money now, but bro, come on. It's still funny. It's still funny. I don't know. It never gets old.
Okay, I actually just had to like look this up. A smart fridge on average costs $2,000 US. What the fuck?
Exactly. Exactly. That's why I said smart fridges are stupid. But at least they cost well.
Lord. Okay, fair enough. Can't argue with that. That is the secret. That
Money
is
is money, man.
the untapped like thieving business, I suppose. Besides you.
It's funny. See, I'm telling you that it's funny. It's hilarious,
oh my
bro.
lord. All right, fair enough. Can't deny that. Okay, next question is, we've discussed why you do it. We've discussed who's buying it. Now I want to discuss, how are you stealing these things? Because on average, they weigh 250 pounds, and that's on the lighter end.
Okay. When I first started, and without the mask at least, because
Sure.
the mask gives me, besides the fire powers, you know, it's kind of like a Captain America syndrome. You know, you're just super all of a sudden. But like when I started, bro, I had to get like a winch. I had to get like a wheel. What do you call those things? Like wheelbarrows or some shit. Like winches and everything.
I know what you're talking about, but I also forgot its name.
What?
I know what you're talking about, but I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called, man. It's
the-
been a while since I've had to do it manually. But yeah, I had to get a winch. I had to get some rope, and then I had to get my truck. Like I had to put in a truck and drive. But
Yeah.
you know, with the mask, I kind of just unplug it and lift it, I guess.
Okay, I suppose that makes sense.
It's hilarious. Yeah.
I suppose it also makes sense that you already had the skills to like stealthily move in and out of an area.
Yeah, I mean, it comes with experience, practice, and it's part of the job. So, I mean, it would be you'd. Okay, get this. Okay, if someone caught me, not the person I'm stealing from, but if someone on the street saw me carrying a fridge around, they would not question if I'm stealing it. They would just be asking in their heads, why the hell does this dude have a fridge on him?
I think people will
So
be asking
it's-
on why is there only one dude with the fridge on him.
Exactly. Why is it only one? They think it's funny, bro. Comedy. It's just funny, but like, yeah, when it comes down to stealth, I'm gonna be real with you. It's not practical.
Yeah.
But it's funny. But at the end of the day, bro, I get paid. Is easy. I'm not saying anyone in chat or anyone should start in the fridge thieving. I'm literally the only guy that does it. Everyone in the underground laughs at me for it, but hey, it just works, man. It works.
Also, I found out it's called a trolley.
A trolley. That's the thing. Okay.
But yeah, I do have had one of these, but they are tough as balls to like move around. So
They are.
considering this, you have to take this trolley, which let's say it weighs like at the very least for a heavy duty one weighs around 20 pounds. That's like a very low end. It probably like weighs up to 50 sometimes. You had to
Uh-oh.
carry that into someone's house, put their fridge on it, which weighs 250 pounds. So you're basically just
Mhm.
rolling roughly 300 pounds out somewhere.
Hey man, I lift, bro. It is what it is, man. You gotta get stronger somehow. I didn't really go to the gym or anything, but I guess the muscle came with fridge thieving, bro. I'm telling you right now, man, it has more benefits than you would think.
I mean, besides with the food, of course.
Well, yeah, if they leave food inside, then yeah, I have dinner for the day, I guess.
Okay, what is possibly the best thing that you've gotten out of like fridge thieving? Like something that they had
Actually,
in their fridge, for
besides the
example.
cash, there was a I stole like a freezer one time, which is
Uh,
technically a fridge. It's just primarily a freezer. This
sure.
I happened to nick one off of like this rich guy, and this dude had like them good the good steaks, all packed up, bro. He looked like he was about to wholesale that thing. But guess what, man? I was eating good for almost a whole year, bro. Like every other day, just cook it up, and then boom. And then he had a
That sounds
couple
amazing,
drinks
actually.
inside. I like to drink, me.
That sounds amazing.
Right, right. See,
Well, moving on. Let's say that you stolen a fridge and somehow somebody plays a tracker on it. What would you do?
oh, that's easy. People down here. I know. I happen to know the right people to inspect the fridge before we go to the either keeping or selling. Sorry. Either the selling or keeping part. I have them inspected if it's got a tracker or some sort of booby trap, because who the hell booby traps a fridge? But yeah, better safe than
Fair.
sorry, But we inspect it, for trackers or some sort of technology that could track me down. But yeah, we inspect it, we remove it, and then we reuse them. We need those things.
I actually do remember a certain post. Actually, I'll just say this. I have a friend of a friend kind of thing, and this person is a heavy kleptomaniac.
Mhm.
They steal things, right? They steal things and they don't know why they steal it. They don't even need it. The weird thing
Mhm.
about this is that what they steal. Can you like guess?
Okay.
Like take a weird guess, just a random guess.
There's no way that's a fridge, right?
No, it's not a fridge.
Hmm. What would someone have an obsession to steal, keep stealing, and it's weird?
It's like the weirdest
Um,
thing. Like if you no one can possibly guess what they steal.
I'm usually someone that's good with information, but damn, this is the first time I felt clueless. This is interesting. Um, is it like is it something so mundane that it's kind of stupid? Like,
Yeah, pretty much.
what is it, like a I don't know, pencils? I don't know.
Nope. Okay, this person will steal anything with the number 9 on it.
Hmm.
That's
That
not
is
a
more
joke.
interesting than I thought it was gonna be.
I
wonder
mean
why it's
this person steals everything with the number 9 on it.
everything.
She once
Damn,
broke
I
in
gotta.
she once broke into on 2 separate occasions broke into the locker room of some basketball players and stole their jerseys, but only the number 9.
Hmm.
She has
That is very interesting.
the number thing of like restaurants. She has like the number nines of
It's
those.
number 9.
Yeah.
I like that. Damn, I gotta hide my number 9 belongings before I get nicked off something.
I don't know if this is true, but I think she also stole a bag with a number, like someone's bag with a number 9, but just left everything else like on the ground, like just dumped out all the stuff from where she found and just took the bag. Because
That is
because
very
the bag had like a
interesting.
very stylized number 9 on it. I can't believe it, but it's
Interesting.
true though.
This is the most
I know.
like interesting thief I've heard of in my life, and there's a lot of these down here, but this takes the cake. What is with the number 9? And you would
idea.
ignore everything as long
Yeah.
as it's got the number 9. You nick that, bruh.
Exactly.
Interesting.
There's a much like longer list of like other stuff she stole, but I've already forgotten because it was like a while ago. But jeez, it was like anything with a number 9. That jersey is what surprised me because she doesn't even know the players. She just like found the number
She
and
just
took it
nicked the number 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
on 2 separate occasions by like 2 different schools.
Bruh. Okay. Damn. Guess I
I know.
gotta pay the info man another visit. Who the hell is this person?
Right? I don't even know why she does it, but she does it, so whatever. It's still like the weirdest like thought of kleptomania I have heard, period.
It's weird, but it's also very interesting.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I got a deep dive on this case. I'm not a detective. I know one and I hate him, but like
Oh wait, I think like the other stuff she's stolen, I'm not thinking about it. I remember that she also quote unquote stole some like political posters because it's like something about like stealing that was like during like an election time that she also stole posters, but she only stole one of those. She never steals copies. She only steals like one of each.
oh. Damn.
So she has like a poster like just some random politician because his number on the vote me thing was like 9.
9. Okay. Man, this is very interesting.
I know, it was weird.
Now I got my research cut out for me for this month.
I don't get either. I also do recall that they have basically been banned from like a tailoring shop because they stole patches that were number 9s.
Huh.
Thing is, it's a patch. It hasn't been sewn on, so it could also be a 6, but she never steals 6s. It was weird.
What if she stole a 6 because it was an inverted number 9? Like, see, this is interesting, bro. What is going on here?
I genuinely have no idea like what her thought process in this thing is.
Damn, I don't need sleep tonight, bro. I need answers.
I also need answers. I still don't know why this person does it, but I just know they do.
God damn. Interesting.
Yeah, it's like weird thieves, man. Weird thieves. And again, I did know someone else who stole cheese only, but that's like their thing.
Hmm.
And consider how expensive cheese is, I kinda get it. They don't steal cheap cheese, they only steal like the expensive kind.
Okay, cheese is fine. Everyone,
That's fine.
A lot of people
That
like
makes
cheese.
sense.
Yeah, that's fine. But the number 9, bruh.
Yeah,
I don't get
it was weird. Oh wait, I just remembered another one. They stole they have a large collection of pens with the number 9 on it.
What?
Yeah. And like it's like from different manufacturers. That's what they had the most of.
This is
pens.
elevating to a level I never thought I'd hear. I thought it was just like, oh, it's got a number 9, that's cool. But it's the fact the item with the number 9
Yeah.
just gets better and better.
It's hella weird. I don't get it either. But
This
actually,
is entertaining.
but thinking about this is somewhat related, but it's this thing about how casual. Are you familiar with casual thievery?
Oh yeah, of course.
Because there was this this one thing I saw before about how a guy said that he went to a party. He's a smoker, right? So he always like asks for like cigarettes. I mean,
Yeah.
not cigarettes, lighters. Thing is that he was it was a club that was really busy. He was kind of drunk. When he went home, he checked his pockets and he had approximately 20 lighters. Just because he forgot to return the lighters like to the person he borrowed it from. Like out of habit. He just said, hey man, can I borrow a lighter? Yeah, sure. Like immediately puts it in his pocket because he forgot to like give it back. He came home with like two pockets full of just lighters. Do you think that there could be anything else that people like casually steal that they don't realize it?
I honestly wish I had an answer to that, but honestly, I'm clueless. This is a world of thieving I have never heard before.
It's essentially the surface thieves.
Yeah, surface thieves, definitely. They're on their own league. As much as anyone down here would say that we're better, this is very interesting. This is the most I've realized that there is so much more crime on the surface.
Crime with air quotes,
like
of course.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of crime up there because we do it, but like I don't know. People down here like to think they're superior to the thieves on the surface, but I gotta say, man, I'm not one of those people that think that way. But now I'm just thinking, wow, why and how?
Actually, I did want to like bring this up because stealing is of course considered a crime by most governments,
yeah,
honestly. But the thing is that where I'm from, the fire world, we have a certain license that encourages mercenaries, which is that your targets and like whatever follow-up things, people, their stuff is free for the taking. So the one thing that people like most mercenaries, at least most mercenaries that don't think like me, we carry bags, because after our job we can just take whatever we want from the area.
Oh yeah, of course.
But what I don't like is that this one time I had to like deal with like somebody's car, right? I tried to like take their car because I need a ride, but nope, the insurance company got it. So who's the real thieves here?
Amen to that, my friend. Amen. People say we're devious and evil for stealing, but one, it's just business. Two, we're kind of stealing from the people that steal from the common folk. You know that who's the real criminal down here? You know. Like,
exactly.
Y'all look down on us like that because we do devious things down here. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, some of the things they do down here are pretty fucked up. But
also
like,
true.
Still. But point being, there are people we consider good that are taking more than... We steal from the people that have stolen from the masses. They steal from the masses willingly and advertise it as a basic necessity. Now, who's the real thief here?
Who's the real thief?
Robin Hood had a point, but like, still.
It actually, yeah, exactly. Just taking from the people who essentially deserve it, I suppose.
Exactly. And like some people would be like, oh, criminals will hurt people. Okay, first of all, I hurt people because they try to hurt me. It's called self-defense, people. It's common sense. And those guys are no better than we are because they're willing to kill somebody that's not... Okay, fine. Maybe if I go out of control again, it's a threat. It's maybe some casualties, but I'm not doing that on purpose. They kill people on some false like charges or something like that. Like that ain't right, bro. Like we're here to defend ourselves because we're just doing our job, you know.
And that definitely. There's really just this one, how should I say, divide between like somebody who kills people, mercenary, and somebody who just protects themselves from things.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, are you familiar with the game Thief?
Oh yeah.
There's this thing about how a lot of people don't really get is that the combat system in Thief is purposely terrible.
Exactly.
Because
Because
the main character,
you're just trying to do, you're just there to do your business. You're not there to fight. That's not the purpose.
why are the guards so strong? Why can't I like fight them with my sword properly? That kind of, because you're not supposed to. You're supposed to be at
Exactly.
Thief.
It's discouraging you to fight
Yeah.
and do what you're supposed to do.
Like steal things, plan things ahead, distract enemies, and etc. Essentially.
You see, here's the thing about our line of work. There's more ways to stealing things than just killing everyone in the vicinity. My guy, lives still matter. Hello. We're not murder. There are some down here, but still, the majority of us that are just there to make some money, build a status, we're not there to kill people. We will if threatened. It's self-defense, but it's not a main goal. We're not terrorists. We're not there to terrify people or anything like that. We're here to do a job, and we're devoted to that.
Yeah, definitely. It's just the difference in perspective that some other people don't understand, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I want to get your opinion on something because have you heard about this case of I don't recall like the exact name of it, but there was this case in the US wherein an old couple had a house right by the farm, but then they were barely there because, well, they're old. They had like stay near their actual house, which is like near closer to the city for medical reasons and job reasons. The thing is that this house kept getting robbed essentially because it's an old ass house, like no security, made of wood, etc. Despite multiple warnings, no trespassers and such, people just kept going back, stealing more stuff to the point where it genuinely, like, most of the stuff was already gone. So, what this couple did was what the husband did was he booby trapped the door so that if anybody were to like steal something, they would get shot in the knees though. What are your opinions on that? Wherein actually the thief, there was a pair of thieves that went there, opened the door, one of them got shot in the knee.
Eesh.
Yep.
Oh,
And it wasn't a pistol, it was a shotgun.
Oh, Kneecap. Oh man,
Yeah.
I gotta hold my knee for that one.
He got kneecapped. Of course, he had to call the hospital, and then of course they called the hospital, and they found that they got shot because they were robbing the place. So,
well,
the guy was
mistake, honestly.
The guy was arrested, but after of course he got healed up, but he was essentially wheelchair bound now for like the rest of his life because he kept.
Damn.
Yes, the thing is that he sued the old couple. He sued the old couple because of this.
Well,
he sued the old couple and won.
Oh.
Because of a law that states that you are not allowed to use lethal force if life is in danger. And it was proven that life was in danger because there was nobody in the house. The thing is that the counter argument to that was, what if it was just the old lady who was in the house? She couldn't protect herself. But they said it still didn't matter. It was a matter of fact that the old lady wasn't there. That's just literally the one thing that made the guy win. And he got like a lot of money like in reparations. I don't know how much, but I just know it. I just know it was a lot of money.
Interesting.
And to me, this just feels weird. I was just wondering about you as a thief. What do you think about this?
Okay. The whole law on lethal force, that's excusable because surface thieves are kind of besides the rookie work that they do compared to us down here, they're idiots. Listen, okay, uh, people on the surface will think empty house, easy pickings. People down here will scope the area. We will check everything because we're professionals. Those
Yeah.
guys just do it for an easy buck. Rookie mistake, but the suing part is genius. It's honestly genius.
It's one way to make
Because
money, of course.
he probably got more money than he would have robbing the place. So
To be fair, though, he traded a kneecap for it, so
that's the one sacrifice he had to make, but that's kind of his fault for not pre-planning. But
also
like,
true.
That is a very interesting robbery. Probably the most interesting surface case I have ever heard. Huh.
Yeah, at first I was like wondering, how did he win? But then
Yeah,
like
that's the one thing. He won, and
he
that's
is literally a
miracle in its
criminal.
own.
He has been a criminal
He's
suing
a
the
criminal.
people.
He's a man with a criminal record, yet he won a legal case in court for him robbing a house.
That honestly, that is
wow.
probably the best case. That probably like the best case of a thief. It's like that. It's like that meme. I came looking for copper and I found gold. That's essentially what happened.
That is literally it. Like, this man got more money than he would have had robbing the place, considering it's been nicked before. I mean,
Several
come
times,
on,
also.
like,
I may add.
exactly, several times. A house that has been repeatedly robbed, yet at the end of the day, you choose to rob it.
And you got shot because
Rookie
of
mistake.
it.
Yeah, he lost a kneecap for that. It's a rookie mistake, but at the same time, he was smart in the end, and I salute that man.
I'm actually not sure. I'm not sure if it's related, but the old couple actually ended up like selling the house. I'm not sure if it's like in result of them being sued, but I just know that was part of it. Selling the house and
I feel like
and land.
I feel like they had to at some point, considering the state of it.
Yeah, essentially. But yeah, just really, really weird case of the criminal getting more than what they thought they would.
Exactly.
Okay, unrelated, somewhat unrelated. There was this story. I have not like seen the entire story, but it's kind of hilarious because I think it's not really a mafia boss, but it's also a mafia. It's hard to explain. It's essentially like a gang, right? Like a classic style mafia, almost mafia gang.
Of course.
They the main boss told his goons to like go pick up this crate from the like warehouse, whatever, right? Because there are like two motorcycles in there that we can sell to the Italians for like a really big buck because it's illegal over there, kind of thing. They got the wrong crate. You wanna know what they got?
What?
A military cache of roughly, if I recall, roughly 200 models of Lewis light machine guns.
That's not too bad.
They essentially robbed the military.
Okay, now that's dangerous.
Yeah. I heard this and I was like,
we may be people willing to steal from anybody, but if there's one person or
you don't fuck
like,
with.
you don't fuck with the military. That's like the golden unspoken rule of the underground. You will steal from anybody except the military, because the day the military come knocking on the underground's doors, it's over for us.
Yeah. I just saw this and I was like, how badly do you have to fuck up like 2 crates for 2 motorcycles and ended up taking 200 light machine guns from the military?
Okay, hold on. You say the crate they were supposed to steal is motorcycles. First of all,
Yeah.
how do you get the size difference wrong?
I think it was
mixed
it
up.
was like it was like really like packed in because these are like expensive motorcycles. I don't know, but I don't know how they fucked this up so badly. I couldn't stop laughing after I saw that.
That is hilarious. Not only have you jeopardized your whole career, but you pissed off the military in the
Yeah.
process. That is commendable for its stupidity.
With enough guns to arm a small insurgency.
Exactly. Like, yeah, you one could, like, probably one of the smarter arms dealers down here would be like, we got the wrong crate, but at least we got. Do remember where the guns came from.
It was terrible, honestly. Like, how?
That is sad, but very funny.
It is remarkably hilarious, but how though?
That is the funniest but dumbest like job failure I've ever heard.
To be fair, there's like a lot of cases wherein mafia bosses trust the worst person to deal with a job.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But anyway, that I suppose there's just way too many. Do you know any stories where like thieves like just go wrong or go horribly right? I suppose.
Oh, one me. Nah, I'm just kidding. If you're telling hardly like trusting the wrong people, then yeah, sure. But like in a funny sense, yeah, that was me, because the whole me getting this mask thing, yeah, I trusted the wrong people, but at the end of the day, I got something good out of it. But if we're talking, it's a stupid. There was, okay. Here's a funny story. It's still me. I've done some dumb stuff as a heister. There was this job from a local gang to tell me to pick up a fridge, and I was like, okay, I'm good
Okay.
at what I do. Yeah, I'll just do the regular thing. And they told me, whatever you do, don't open the fridge. And I was like, okay, it might just be valuables or something expensive inside. But then when I got there, I was getting ready to nick it, you know. This was before the power, of course. So, you know, I got the winch, I got the rope and all that
Yeah,
stuff. And then as I was about to tie the rope around the door so it doesn't open, I hear noises coming from inside the fridge. And then I was like, why is it making noise? It's not like there's a person inside, right? Yeah, I ate my words. And I opened the fridge because it was irritating me. And this like roughed up guy comes out of the fridge and he goes, sir, please help me. And I'm over here like, is this why they didn't want me to open the fridge? And then I was like, I was like, I had to lie, and I told him, "Don't worry, sir, I'm getting you somewhere safe." And I tell him to go back in the fridge, and he said, "Why do I have to go back in the fridge?" I'm like, "Just trust me, man, just trust me." And I go in and I have the fridge, and then he starts panicking again. But then, as I was driving off with the fridge, I called the contact, and he was like, I was like, so you mean to tell me not to check the fridge because there was a person inside? And then they were like, we were gonna tell you. And I was like, why didn't you? And then they were like, well, they didn't even explain to me. I kind of just dropped the phone because I just started laughing.
Nice.
But I delivered it, and then I didn't want to hear the rest of it. I just took the money and left. But it was just so funny.
For a second, I thought you were gonna say Indiana Jones was inside.
I wish. I freaking wish he was Indiana Jones. If that was the case, man, I would have shook his hand and let him go, bro. But no, this was just a random dude that probably had beef with the gang that I was trying to work for at the time. But like, no, it was just some random guy that happened to be on the wrong end, on the wrong receiving end of their temper, I guess. But safe to say, I don't know what happened after. But I don't think I
Fair
want to
enough.
know.
Fair enough.
But that is probably the funniest fridge I have ever stolen, to the point where it's so stupid it's funny.
To be thinking about it, you probably have found a fridge that was utterly disgusting, huh? At some point. Or they just don't steal us anymore.
I used to, when I was starting out, I had to start with like mini fridges because, you know, manpower and
Yeah.
you know, weight and all that. So yeah, people go crazy over mini fridges at some point. They you know, people want it next to their workspaces. You know, there was this one time there was a house where it was just I don't know. It looked easy. The person that lived there, I did my planning. You know, the person that lived there, kind of a bum. You know,
Okay.
he is literally the gamer stereotype of, you know, like gamer, like crumbs on his keyboard. Bro, I walked into his house and I retched, I dry heaved. It stank.
Eesh.
So
Okay, that
I
sounds
walked
gross.
in. I had to put a mask on and everything, not only for the anonymity of my face, but because it just stank, man. Like, so I was like, okay, so where's the freaking mini fridge? I just want to get out of here. And then me, it's just common procedure for me, at least, before I steal it, I check the contents. And
Sure.
man, do I tell, when I opened this fridge, I wanted to throw up, man. This dude had like half open chips in a fridge. Why would you put chips in a fridge?
Okay, that's weird,
He
but
had
sure.
like unopened bottles. Well, the unopened bottles, I had a drink out. It wasn't expired, but that was like the one clean thing inside the fridge. But yeah, like, well, rotten food. There was something I can't even describe, not because I can't, but because I don't. What the hell was it? It was sticky and weird. So literally I nick the fridge, and I bring it to my friends who check for technology hidden in the fridge so we could reuse. I felt so bad for that team of guys when I opened the fridge. Is everyone
sounds
just ran out the
disgusting.
room. They just ran out the room like, bro, why did you bring us this? And I was like, bro, it's a mini fridge. People want mini fridges nowadays. And he said, you decide to steal this one? And I was like, it was easy. And then they were like, okay, fine, let's just clean it first before we inspect it. And we did. And believe me when I tell you, after cleaning it, it looked like a whole different fridge. It looked like a whole different mini fridge, man. It was that dirty.
Nice.
Like,
real
my
nice.
God.
That
It is.
guy is that cannot possibly. That can. I thought at that point, I'm not sure if the fridge is worth it.
I mean, it paid good. I had to suffer a little, but you know, I put my team in a health hazard potentially. But well, we're fine. I mean, it's a funny story over drinks nowadays. But like the more I look back on it, the more I realize I probably should have just nicked a different mini fridge.
I suppose I'm probably like the lucky one here because I suppose the worst thing I saw when like on a job, I looked in their fridge. Of course, it was mostly okay, but it had like one Tupperware with spaghetti inside, a spaghetti with mushrooms. But the mushrooms weren't part of the spaghetti. It was growing out of the
What?
spaghetti.
Oh,
It was
hell,
that
oh,
bad.
Bruh.
Not
No,
mold,
no, people.
mushrooms.
I can't. As someone who has stolen fridges for many years, as much as that gamer's mini fridge was disgusting, I never want to see that in my life.
Yeah.
Dear God.
I had to shower twice that day. I just slightly opened, but I had to shower twice that day.
Now, if I brought that fridge to my team, I think that is a health hazard.
That was disturbing. That was frankly disturbing, honestly. But regardless, I think that's enough discussing talk for the time being. We still have a couple more questions we haven't dived into, but I hope that the viewers aren't too disgusted by what we were just talking about earlier.
I'm sorry. Listen, laugh at fridge thieving all you want, but the things you see sometimes actually bleach my eyes afterwards, please. But like, it's a hard business, guys. As much as it is funny, it is pretty hard.
Yeah, definitely. Well, regardless, let's move on to the next question, which is
Mhm.
what happened to the person who hired you for the artifact job? Wouldn't they want to get their mask back like the one you're using now?
Here's the thing, okay. I have 0 leads as to who this is, but I have a few contacts that say possibilities, but I'm not gonna go on a revenge story over a hunch. Trust me, I
Okay.
want my revenge, man. Getting shot hurts, man. I don't like that. But I have 0 leads. However, what do you call this? Shit, I lost my train of thought.
That's
What
fine.
do you call this? Yeah, 0 leads. However, a very familiar have popped up in these this list of names. And here's the thing: when you say don't they want it back, I cannot find them. And the reason I started streaming in the first place, if I can't find them, I'll be sure as hell they'll come looking for me, because they can try and have it back. They can try. I don't know what I can. I know what I can do with it, but once that flame turns purple, bro, I have no guarantee that you'll be fine afterwards. I mean, that's the thing. Come looking for me. I'm here right now on Burning Questions. If you're watching this right now, come for me. I will be waiting. I'm ready for a fight. You screwed me over. This is the point in time where you just need to find me, man. I'm not gonna try anymore because I don't care. I have the power I want. I have the status that I want. I just want him gone, because a lot of us heisters have had similar experiences and unfortunately aren't as fortunate as I am as surviving the encounter. So, you know, please, please, please look for me, is what I'm trying to say. Because I want to have a good long conversation as to why you did what you did to me. Call it a cliche revenge story, but I just call it, cutting ties with certain people in the business.
Fair enough. I suppose that's one way of getting their attention, especially on Burning Quick. So, well, I suppose the viewers might be able to help you with that, but that's for them to message us. Anyway, regardless, let's move on to the next question, which is, of course, considering all of your hijinks with the fridges, have you ever dropped a fridge on someone?
But funny you should mention that. There has been a point where me and my team's business was almost shut down because some people didn't like what we were doing, and because basically, they caught on to us. They found out it was us stealing the fridges, so they wanted us gone. They came to our HQ. Somehow they found it. I guess they paid the info guys down here enough. They came to the HQ of our little side business, aka fridge thieving. There happened to be some fridges on a higher elevated surface. So while my team
Okay.
was busy loading the fridges to safety, I had to hold them back a little bit. So yes, I may have pushed one I had to sacrifice the fridge, man. It was painful to watch. I tossed it down, and what do you call this? I tossed it down. He doesn't know how to handle a fridge. This man stood there and screamed like every cliche horror movie. You know, he just stood there and he just went like and then boom, splat. I was more sad that the fridge had to get damaged like that. So, it sucks, man. But yeah, it was one time. I never want to jeopardize the quality of a fridge for another person. Like it was a matter of, so it was do or die, man. My powers, for some reason, it's like you know, you get like power dry at some point. I don't know. I guess I was
Yeah.
just tired that day. The flames weren't just coming out, man. No matter how hard I would manifest it, but it just wouldn't work. So I had to use what was around me, and conveniently enough, the fridges were willing to give their lives for me. If you know what
So
I mean.
you dropped a 250-pound, roughly, big chunk of steel at an enemy, and of course I killed them.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one way of doing it, I suppose.
Yeah, it got the job done. It didn't feel good, but at least I was safe afterwards.
Fair enough. That definitely gets the job done, essentially.
Well, yeah, considering what it's made of and how much it weighs.
Well, moving on to the next question. Have you ever found out where the mask came from, actually?
I don't know. Some info guy was telling me some shit about a dragon, but aren't dragons old news? Like, ain't they fantasy or something like that? So I don't know, man. I paid him good money for some good info, and he told me some medieval tale about some red dragon that lived in the mountains. I don't know, dude. I don't know if the money was worth the info. It was just a little silly, but considering the fact that, you know, that what do you call this? It's, I don't know if I paid the right guy, but they did say it was like an ancient artifact from like Japan or something. So like I don't know. It's he pulled out like a scroll and everything, bro. It was I don't know what it was. Should I believe it? I don't know, but the world's getting crazier nowadays. So whether this red dragon is after me or not, I don't know, dude. For now, I'm just gonna enjoy my life down here.
I see what you mean. There are like, how should I say, like weird things happening nowadays with a lot of VTubers just popping out of the woodwork.
Mm-hmm.
We got everything from, well, as you said, dragons. I had a comet once.
I met a literal piece of fish that started talking to me. That's the world we live in today. He was talking to they're VTubers as well. They're fish. It's cool, but fish talking to me is kind of weird. But you know, it's cool, I guess.
Well, my best friend's
They
a
look
chicken,
like people,
so I don't really can't argue with that. I suppose that's just a thing that happens nowadays, huh? Just animals talking to y'all.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about dragons, I guess talking animals isn't out of the question anymore.
Sure, fair enough. Okay, well, moving on to the next question. What are some things you did before you acquired the mask, and did you do exclusive pickpocket jobs?
Oh yeah, when I was getting my start, before I even discovered like the fridge business, you know, pickpocketing, I definitely have, you know, the sleight of hand for easy pickpocketings. You know, funny you should mention that. One of my favorite places to go pickpocketing is at you know, they're all crowded up and stuff.
The con?
You know? So yeah, like cons, you know, like anime conventions, you know.
You're going to one next week.
Oh yeah, I am going to the one next week. But
Okay.
yeah, pretty much it's easy to pickpocket in crowded areas because one, you blend in perfectly. I mean, I don't know how much I blend in with such a nice fit, but you know what? Yeah, we stay stylish, but still, place to pickpocket. And if I wasn't doing pickpocketing, you know, I'd pull out some favors for mafia bosses and gang leaders. Disposal jobs, liquidizing assets, recovery and all that.
Yeah, yeah.
I was your basic gangster at some point. So yeah, when I got out of high school, when I was but a delinquent, I happened to stumble upon a few gangs. I worked for them for a little bit, and then once one of the gang leaders thought I was fit to fit in with the boys in the underground. I said, "What the hell is the underground?" And it's literally that scene from Arcane. Yeah, you seen Arcane, the show? It's
Unfortunately, not yet,
literally,
but it's on my list.
well, there's a scene where they take some secret elevator and it's like some underground. It's a good representation of how we look these days, man. Media's stepping up, man. They acknowledge us, but still, it took a secret elevator. It was like this dirty street of like thugs and the worst of the worst. And then he was like, one of these days you're gonna be a legend if you just keep doing what you keep doing, because he knew that I was good at what I was told, but at some point I didn't like what I was told, so I went independent. So when I went independent, that's when I started the fridge thieving business, and then here I am now with some supernatural power that I it just makes my life easier, really.
Okay, I suppose that's one way of how should I say, presenting your outfit yourself.
Well, yeah. Um, if there's one thing the underground's not known for, it's looking good. So I'm gonna do what no one else does down here, and that's look good. So style is very important when you're making a name for yourself.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's what's iconic, right? Which is why a lot of, let's say,
Yeah.
VTubers have like how should I say this, iconic outfits.
Pretty much, yeah. The one I'm currently wearing is what I usually wear to a heist, so I may not be tactically prepared, but I don't really need to be because I have the mask. But if I didn't have the mask, at least I'd look good.
Fair enough. Okay, moving on. We're at the last stretch of this. So, as a fellow connoisseur of techwear, even if I'm not currently wearing techwear right now, I gotta ask, where did you get your jacket? Was it stolen or custom made? Or do you know how to sew and you've made yourself?
Funny you should mention that. I tried making one. I may be a professional in many things, but my friend sewing is not one of them. And I tried sewing a jacket and it fell apart after one heist.
Oof.
So, I hit up some of the great tailors down here. They patch body armor, underclothes, and everything. I had to pay him good money to get this jacket.
Yeah.
It's fitted with bulletproof, because I hate bullets. We all know why.
Yeah.
Everything is fitted with body armor, and everything else is just my own purchases from. I will give the surface credit where it's due. They have good clothes, so everything else is surface wear, so to speak. But this jacket has served me well, and surprisingly looks new despite all the shootouts I've been part of. So I guess my money has been spent real well with this.
Well, that's definitely really good. So, moving on to the next question. With recent, I'm sorry, with recent years of people having to stay home due to obvious things, how has this affected you being a thief? Has it made things easier due to people staying home, meaning less witnesses? Or has it made things harder because more people are, well, protecting their valuables, so to speak?
Okay, when it comes to outdoor jobs, yes, the no witnesses thing is very useful because it's a smaller crowd of people, and if it comes down to a hostage situation, I don't have to deal with too much. But again, I don't hurt them. I just use them as leverage for negotiation. But when it comes to more personal thievery, it's gotten a lot harder. The fridge business is rough these days, I'm telling you. It is. Because if back then people are barely home, now they are always home. And
Sure.
I can never like get close enough to actually like nick another fridge, you know? So
Yeah.
the fridge business has gone rough, but the general heisting gigs have been a lot easier, really. But so, you know, so it's a sacrifice for the other. One makes more money, the other one's more personal to me. So, you know, it's a fair trade, I guess.
Okay, fair enough. At least, well, I suppose that, how should I say this? The outside valuables are probably going to be less protected because guards will probably get lessened because, you know, having to stay apart and such.
Oh yeah, personal valuables pickpocketing is a lot harder due to the fact that there's less crowds. And I mean, if it's like a guy on the street, yeah, I could probably just bump into him, apologize, and then next thing you know, he's missing his watch. But like, you know,
Social
it's
distancing.
the value, yeah, social distancing, you know, the value's gone down, the quantity's gone down. I'm actually no, the value's gone up because the rarity of these things.
Fair enough.
It's just skyrocketed on the underground. So in the underground, surprisingly, we're fine. I mean, the disease hasn't spread to the underground. Besides, I don't know, dude, the underground doctors are miracle workers. But at the same time, you know what? We're safe down here. It's just we have to comply with the surface laws if we don't
Yeah.
want to look too, you know, we gotta be inconspicuous. So it's gotten a lot harder to for surface jobs, you know. But down here, you know, jobs are aplenty, leads are aplenty. So the business is still booming. It's just different conditions mean different strategies, and yeah, we're adapting pretty well, I'd say.
Okay, fair enough. Suppose that's really all you can do now. Just adapt to like what's going on.
I kind of have to. So
Okay, well, next is, how is it thieves are so rampant? I mean, considering that thieves are so rampant, aren't there possibly, let's say, bounty hunters who will work as anti-thieves? If so, how do you deal with them?
okay, that's a very good question. I am someone who's been sought out before by a bounty hunter, and guys have very interesting methods of snuffing us out because, for one, we stand out. People from the underground, if you're not as good at blending in as I am or my team or any of the legends in the underground,
Sure.
on the surface, you are nothing but a big please hunt me sign for a bounty hunter.
Sure, yeah.
So bounty hunters have very good connections with the underground. I'm not saying they're part of them, but they have their ways of getting to the info people. So once they're tracked down, it's kind of like having, it's not a pleasant feeling knowing that you have a target on your back. So
Oh yeah, definitely.
me personally, I've dealt with a few. I've disposed of a few because, well, for one, the mask is neat. You know, it's can't
Powerful.
exactly die, but when it comes down to it all, bounty hunters have evolved just as fast and as advanced as us down here, and it's becoming increasingly, I don't know if scary is the right, no, it's become more threatening down here because they're adapting just as quick as we are, and if we're not careful we might get wiped off. But we have found ways to snuff out bounty hunters that are trying to get leads down here. So at the end of the day, it's practically a game of cat and mouse with us and bounty hunters.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's kind of like what you said, like what we discussed earlier about with the arms race, essentially.
Yeah, the arms race basically.
Well, I suppose
Like,
that's...
these guys have pulled out weapons I have never seen before. As fascinating as they are very dangerous to not only us down here, but to myself, because
Oh yeah.
as much as standard issue firearms can't hurt me, and anything really, but those bounty hunters can get very smart at some point.
You don't want to like test the
And
limits of your mask thing, right?
Yeah, I'd rather not test the waters with any more bounty hunters. I've rough history aside, my life's in danger. So.
Yeah. Exactly. It's, even though that you like someone's immortal, it's still kind of terrifying to get shot on. Obviously.
But yeah.
I think that almost covers it. We have one more question. Okay, we have one last question.
All right.
Considering all your years of thieving and as a professional thief, I have to ask, how do you steal a girl's heart?
Damn. Listen, man, I could steal a lot of things, but a girl's heart is the hardest thing I've had to steal ever. You know, first of all, be humble. You may be a thief, but do know that, you know, humility will get you far. You know, so don't be somebody you're not. I know what I am. I'm a thief. I'm a criminal. At least that's what they call me up there. I'd like to call myself more of a businessman, really, but as much as I am a thief. But yeah, humility and being yourself really is how you steal a girl's heart. Not speaking from experience, because I'm gonna be real with you, it's with the changing times, you know, it's gotten a lot more hectic. I don't really have time to dwindle around in romance, but you know, if it happens, it happens. You know, it's if I happen to steal a girl's heart, then damn, consider that the greatest heist of my life.
Hell yeah, exactly. Okay, I may have lied here because I do have one more question here that I suppose only you specifically can answer.
Alright.
But it's less of a question, more of an observation, which I tend to do in these burning questions. So, since you are known as a fridge thief, I suppose you must do a lot of cardio, right?
Well, yeah, it comes with experience in the job, really.
Oh yeah, so
You avoid.
since you are a thief, you have to, a fridge thief specifically, you have a lot of cardio. I suppose it's really good you do a lot of cardio because the hardest part of stealing a fridge is probably when it's running.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've had dozens, if not hundreds, of run-ins with the cops without a vehicle. Now, if I didn't have the mask, I'd just be dead tired after a chase. But like, you know, cardio is important, guys. No matter what line of business you're in, you know, whether you're a thief like me or just, you know, your usual person up in the surface, you need cardio. I mean, running is a daily activity at this rate.
Okay, fair enough. Well, that is the end of burning questions. Have you enjoyed your time here?
This was a very fun experience, considering the fact that it's spent my time talking with a fellow person in a very similar line of work. You know, as you get the struggles sometimes, but like yeah, it was very fun. It was interesting. What I got to talk about here, I got to let people know me a lot better. You know, if grabbing a reputation in the underground's harder, it's a lot easier on the internet. So, you know.
Well, in this part of the burning questions, we asked the viewers some questions they probably want to ask you. So we have a couple here from Savory Chicken, of course. Let's start here in this one. Why do you steal freezers? I mean, why do you steal fridges and not deep freezers?
Okay, deep freezers. Let's just say they're a lot more complicated than your standard fridge. I mean, yes, I've stolen a good few deep freezers, but it's the contents that are complicated. You can fit somebody in a deep freezer, and if you happen to steal a deep freezer with somebody inside, that's none of your business. You're gonna piss off a lot of people. Now, I know I said I started stealing fridges to piss off people, but there are certain people you cannot piss off. So, I may have stolen a few, but of course, part of the procedure is to check the contents. If I see something too suspicious or something that I feel like I shouldn't get my business into, then I'm just gonna leave it as is. You get to keep your deep freezer, I don't care. But the very few that I did steal did have some good contents. Like I mentioned, the steaks and all that shit. So yeah, it's more of knowing what's inside.
Fair enough. That makes sense. Okay, moving on to the next question. What do you have something against animal VTubers?
Oh no, of course not. But I told you, man, like, it's unusual at first, but I don't hate them. If anything, they're interesting. They're very interesting because I've never had an animal speak English to me, and it's a very enlightening experience. I'm gonna be real with you. It's I didn't know animals would talk, but it's definitely opened paths to be able to connect with even more VTubers, because you know, a life of crime doesn't really enlighten you on the current trends. We're only really updated on security and who's number one and all that. But you know, when it came down to VTubing, I did not know that animals could do these kinds of things, and it's fascinating. So I love you guys. What do you mean, bro? I have nothing against you guys.
Okay, next question is are you going to start a Yakuza in Japan supposedly?
As much as I'd like to start my own gang, and as much as I have my team during the fridging business, part of me doesn't like putting other people in danger, considering the fact that this mask can get uncontrollable sometimes. I don't want to jeopardize the safety, so to speak, of the workplace, quote unquote. So I tend to fly fly solo. So however, if we're talking the Yakuza, I have been very fascinated with being able to connect with some of the contacts there, because what they get to do over there in Japan is very, seems very beneficial for the underground. So maybe I'll give it a visit. Maybe I'll ask some of the info guys down here what leads and maybe some jobs even over there in Japan to get the Yakuza's attention. But if I want to start one, not really. Again, I fly solo a lot, so I'd like some friends in the Yakuza, but I don't want to have like a certain family of my own in the Yakuza. So
Okay,
that's
fair
like a
enough.
yes and a no to that question.
Like getting your own connections essentially.
Yeah, it's building more bonds with people in the criminal world. So
Moving on to the next question. The question this one is from Miri. I'm assuming this is Jin Miri from
mm,
last Burning Questions, which
yes,
is
I believe it is.
how does it feel knowing you have a dragon on your ass now?
I didn't even know that I did. But if that's the case, then you want to throw down, just keep it the hell away from the underground. I may not like some of the people in this place, but damn if I didn't say it's practically my life. So hurt me, do whatever you want, just keep my home away from all of this, because that's that's practically everything I've built myself on. So don't come in here attacking me down here, because we're gonna have a lot of problems if you do. But if you're willing to throw down, then I'm down to throw down.
Okay, last question by Savory Chicken again, which is, ever thought about stealing garden gnomes?
No, actually. Though, as much as they are fascinating, I don't really see the market for it. But I suppose I could. Who knows? I might find it funny enough as much as I found it funny stealing fridges at first. So maybe I'll give it a shot. You know, one day your garden gnome's just vibing on your garden, and next minute it's gone. You know what? Yeah, maybe I'll give that a shot. Who knows, man? But like, if you're asking for just my thoughts, they're cool. I just don't know if they're worth anything down here, unless there's some niche collector out there. Then sure, I'll steal it for him.
Well, I suppose that is the end of all of the questions by chat. And that is also the end of Burning Question. I hope everyone involved enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope the chat enjoyed hearing about your life as a thief and your escapades, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it
So
was a
any
great
final
experience. I had fun.
Any final words for Burning Questions for the chat, I suppose?
Sorry. I guess be careful where you go, because I might be there. And don't bring anything valuable with you if you see me around. Unless, of course, you're a friend of mine, then consider your valuables safe. However, the underground is off limits unless you're worthy, so I've been told. But I'm willing to make friends. I like having friends outside of the crime world. It's a breath of fresh air. So, you know, it's hit me up. You know, let's vibe. You know, if there's one thing I value more than style, or just as equally as style, it's vibe. So, you know, hit me up. You know, check me out. Check me out on my Twitch, where I just do some scuffed shit. So that, follow my Twitter for some I don't know, dude. I just say stuff.
It's cool.
So, I just say stuff on Twitter, honestly, besides like stream updates. But like, yeah, I talk about my life sometimes. So yeah, it's really, if anyone's down to vibe, just hit me up and we'll have a good time.
Okay, so anyway, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see everyone next time. Goodbye now.
See y'all. Peace.